Welcome to Just Talkin' Games Part 3. It is time for the saga of me, Just Talkin' Games, to continue. The last time I did this stupid show or podcast or whatever the fuck it even is, I don't even know what this is, but people keep requesting that I come back to it and continue this series, so here I am. I think the last time, which was months and months ago, I left off on pure chess, which, I don't think I need to elaborate on that any further. It's pure chess. You know, it's not just chess, it's pure chess. It's the most basic chess without any gimmicks, without any bells and whistles. It's just pure chess. If you know what chess is, then you know what the video game pure chess is. Fucking video games are fucking a good thing with the game of Chess 64. They had little animations. You remember Chess 64? You better goddamn remember Chess 64 is pure chess. So this probably doesn't even have animations, I don't know. It's probably even more pure than Chess 64, and very few things in life are as pure as Chess 64, much less more pure. How do you be much less more than something? That's a conundrum if I ever did hear one. What the fuck am I talking about? Anyways, obviously, if you don't know, if you haven't watched this crap before, the point of Just Talking Games is that it's just talking games. I go on to my little game libraries here, and I talk about the games that I have, and I tell the people, this one is a piece of shit, and that one's good, and this one's okay, and that's what I do, and, you know, it's not exactly a life of adventure and excitement, but it's the life I lead. God help my immortal soul. The next one is Q*bert. Q*bert rebooted. Yes, even Q*bert has a reboot nowadays. There's no stone left unturned. The reboot machine is just rolling over the hills and the greenery of the land like the fucking like the machines and the deforestation trucks in Fern Gully. It's just rolling over the hills, turning everything, I mean, everything gets rebooted, is my point. Where's my tea? Where's my fucking tea? Anyways, it's fucking Q*bert rebooted. What is there to explain? I actually played this once. I don't even know how it got on my PS4. I don't know where I got it or how I got it. I certainly don't recall paying for it, but I did play it one time. I got into like a weird, like a trance of playing Q*bert rebooted for like 3 hours, and at the end of it I like woke up from my fugue state and I was like, what the fuck why am I playing Q*bert? You know, but I mean, it's Q*bert. You're the guy. He hops on the squares, and that's what he does. Okay, next is cube. Speaking of squares, a cube is 6 squares. So how about that? This cube director's cut, so it's not even basic ordinary cube. This is the real shit. This is the fucking director's cut. All the stuff from Cube that was left on the cutting room floor. Okay, this is the true Cube. I don't even know what this is either. You know, I think when I first saw this, I assumed that it was like an update to Intelligent Cube from PS1, and I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. I remember Intelligent Cube. Does anyone remember Intelligent Cube? But no one remembers Intelligent Cube. No one but me. And I was sorely disappointed because that's not what this is. It's a different thing. It's just a fucking different thing. At least I think it is. I don't even fucking remember. Intelligent Cube was a cool game. There was this game on PS1 called Intelligent Cube, where you played as a little guy on a little grid, and you ran around, and you, like, planted, like, you colored the cubes, sort of like Q*bert, but, like, better, because you turned them into little mines, and there was a wall of cubes that was coming at you, and you planted the Intelligent Cube, which, it was like a puzzle game, and you fucking, it makes no sense to try and explain it, but just believe me, it was awesome. Look up Intelligent Cube if you've never heard of it. It's a cool game for PlayStation 1 that I wish would get updated or brought back, but no one ever will, because no one remembers it but me. My mind is a steel trap for these kind of things. I know all things, I remember all things. I am the ultimate master of all gaming knowledge, and no other knowledge. Sad but true. Here's Kurare Magic Library. Kurare, I guess it's a Japanese word, so it would be like Kurare Magic Library. I don't know what the fuck that is. It looks like a bunch of bullshit. Ratchet and Clank. I think this is a reboot of the original Ratchet and Clank. And I haven't played the reboot. I did play the original back in the day, of course. From what I've heard, the reboot is, like, not good. Like, they messed a bunch of things up, and I'm basing this off of, like, I think, like, a Gaming Brit video that I watched, where he compared the two and said, the reboot is bad. And I believe him, you know, because he seems pretty on the ball about most things. Next is Rayman Legends. This is a great game, but I feel like its greatness is overstated a bit. I mean, people, like, the games media, or, like, review outlets, or, you know, games journalism, I guess. And not even just games journalism, but people in general, it seems like, have been going apeshit about Rayman Legends since it came out, which was fucking years and years ago. I don't even know if... It seems like the first of these, like, rebooted 2D Rayman games came out in, like, 2009. I could be wrong, but I don't know. It seems like Rayman Legends has been around fucking forever. And for as long as it's been around, people have been saying that it's one of the greatest platformers of all time. And I've played it. It's good. I don't think there's ever been a bad Rayman game. They're all fucking cool. I don't know if I would call it one of the best platformers of all time, though. I mean, it definitely evolves the medium of 2D platformers in a lot of interesting ways. It definitely has a lot of cool gimmicks. I mean, like, I agree with everything good that people say about it. Like, yes, every level is a different challenge and unique, and, like, yes, it's fucking good and great and probably fucking perfect. It's probably a perfect fucking game. I agree with everything good everyone says about it. I just don't know if I personally would give it a score like 10 out of 10 masterpiece, changed my entire world, you know. I don't know what I'm being a negative Nancy for. If people love it, they love it. I'm not going to say it's a bad game. It's a good game, so obviously, fuck me, right? So, fuck it. Next is Rebel Galaxy. I have no fucking idea what that is. Red Faction is a classic from the PS2 era, or at least in my mind it's a classic. I don't know how people would feel about it today. I think certainly some things about it don't hold up. The much publicized or promoted destruction aspect of it when it came out probably doesn't hold up that much. Not as intricate as they said it was. Or Red Faction was a game that basically like a Total Recall ripoff. It was a combination of Total Recall, the movie, and Half-Life. It was just like taking like the get your ass to Mars plot of that movie and combining it with the gameplay of Half-Life. And it was good. I mean, it was really good at the time. I loved Red Faction. You play this guy, you're like on a mining colony on Mars, but it goes bad, and there's like a workers' revolt. And there's a lot of really fun stuff you can do in this game. Like, I replayed it recently a little bit. You can get like a remote mine, and you can throw the mine on a guy, and it'll stick to him, and he'll run around screaming, and you can hit the button to blow him up. You can do that 1,000 times, it never stops being hilarious. But the part of this game that people really promoted and really pushed was this aspect that you could destroy the entire environment. Everything in the environment could be destroyed, even to the point where you could, by yourself, like, use mines or rockets to, like, blow up the wall and create tunnels in the wall to, like, get around doors and shit. It was never as good as they promoted it as being. I mean, you can blow up walls and you can sort of dig tunnels into the wall, but it doesn't really add up to much more than just digging a small, crappy tunnel into the side of a wall. You can't really go around doors. If there's a door that they want you to get a certain, like, key to get through, or if they want you to go through an area a certain way, you can't bypass it. It's not like a Metroidvania thing where you can just, fucking... What's the term they use? Sequence break. You can't really sequence break. So it's not quite everything they promoted it as, and I'm sure it doesn't hold up that well today. I mean, like I said, I played it recently, and it's kind of, compared to destructible environments that they have today, it's obviously fucking nothing. But at the time, it was kind of considered a big deal. But even on the PS2, they eventually came out with games that did it better, like, what was that fucking game? Black, or whatever? Which I never played, but I heard that game had, like, just as much, if not way more, destructible environments. But aside from that, I mean, it sounds like I'm just shitting on the game and saying that it doesn't hold up. Aside from all that, I think the game does hold up in terms of it just being a sort of a Half-Life kind of first-person shooter. It's good. It's fun. It's great. I like it a lot. And it had a sequel called Red Faction 2, which I have never played for some reason, and I have no idea why, because I was a big fan of the first game. When the second game came out, it just bypassed me entirely, and I just never bought it, never played it. Don't know why. But now it's on my PS4, and I still haven't played it. So I have no excuse. I don't know. Is it better than the first one? Is it worse? I have no fucking idea. The Resident Evil 2 one-shot demo. I don't know why that's even still here. What does this say? Do not show content item and purchased? Fucking whatever. Yeah, I don't know why the demo is still... I mean, it says not installed, so I guess I did uninstall it. I mean, it's just a demo, you know. I have Resident Evil 2. I just did a whole video on it. The game's good. And here's the demo for it. Fucking... Then there's the Resident Evil 7 demo. I still have not played Resident Evil 7. For whatever reason. It looked cool. I was intrigued by the changing gameplay and making it a first-person kind of game. Although I really don't like the first-person horror games like Amnesia and, you know, all those fucking, like, Outlast and them. Like, those games are a dime a fucking dozen, and I'm sick of them. Games where you're just getting chased by a guy who you can't fight. That kind of stuff pisses me off. If I'm being chased by a guy, I want the option to turn around and kick his ass. Oh, God. Why is my nose fucking runny? Why? I'm not sick. Like, I'm fine. But as soon as I start recording, suddenly my whole body breaks down, so you gotta listen to me fucking sniffling like a idiot. Oh, I'm sorry. I know it sounds gross. It is gross. I apologize. Oh, God. Help. I just don't... I'm not into the fucking... I'm not into the whole, like, you can't fight the enemies... spooky horror, run around in first person, and, like, hide in a closet for 5 minutes games. I think they're all lame, and they're all shit, and they're all stupid, and the genre is tired, and I hate it. You know, that genre of horror is as tired now as the Resident Evil static camera ripoff style of horror games had become after a couple years. Like, that genre got tired after a while. I don't know what the fuck the point is that I'm saying. I don't like them. But, you know, people who played it said it was good. I mean, the game got good scores and whatever. So I'm sure I'll get around to playing it someday. I just haven't yet. Oh, God, what's going on? Anyways, moving on from that, we've got the Resident Evil GameCube remake remastered on the PS4. Which, I mean, is you know, it's... You all know about this. It's like the best remake of any game ever. And it always blows my mind to think back on just, like, how soon after Resident Evil this remake came out, because this is an old fucking game. This remake is an old fucking game. Like, almost 2 decades old. And it didn't come out that much farther down the line from the original game. Resident Evil came out in 95 or 96, I think. And this came out in 2002. And it just, you know, the fucking leap in those years. Just in, like, 4 or 6 years, like, games went from looking like total dog shit to looking like a incredible. Like, even in the original GameCube version, which, you know, aspect ratios are different now, and you can kind of tell that it's an older game, but even going back on GameCube, it looks fantastic. The graphics in that game are amazing, even to this day. And of course, this is a remastered version, so the graphics are even better. And I'm assuming they changed the controls to be a little bit more modern. I don't know what the fuck they did, because I haven't played the remastered version yet. But it's a Resident Evil remake. What can you say? It's one of the best fucking games ever. Resident Evil 2. And that's not to say that the original Resident Evil before the remake is not also one of the best games ever. Because, you know, I think when people say the Resident Evil remake is great, you know, you can... I also encourage anyone who hasn't played the original to go back and play it, because it's also great. But I digress. I'm just being old. Anyways, Resident Evil Revelations 2. This is a great game. Somewhere on... the Revelations games were great. I know the main series got to a point where a lot of the fans were turning away from it. A lot of people didn't like Resident Evil 5. I liked it just fine. I liked 5 more than 4. But by the time Resident Evil 6 came out, I will agree that the series had gotten pretty fucking retarded. I did not like Resident Evil 6 at all. But the Revelations games were both great. Revelations 2, I didn't beat it, but it was fucking awesome. And of course they have the co-op, which is awesome if you have a friend to play with you. Oh yeah, somewhere on my computer, somewhere on one of my many hard drives, there is a Let's Play of this for most of the game that I recorded 2 years ago. A co-op Let's Play. And, I can't find it. No, I know where it is. I just haven't put it together yet, is the thing. I don't know. It's just I just haven't done it yet. I haven't put it out yet. But yeah, it's like a 2-year-old Let's Play that's sitting on my hard drive somewhere. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Resogun is like a... It was kind of a weird... It's kind of like a side-scrolling shooter, but you're on like a set plane, and you can go back and forth, and you're going like around this sort of cylindrical level, and you can go back and forth different... It's cool. It was good. That's all I got to say about that one. Rime. I did a Let's Play of this with Digi 2 years ago, and I released it, I believe, as a Patreon exclusive. I don't think I ever released it publicly. So, you know, so here's the obligatory Patreon plug. Hey, if you want to see all these Let's Plays that I've released and all this extra content and videos that never got uploaded publicly because I hate the public and I don't like being watched. You know, there's like a massive trove of videos, mostly like Blue Glows, that I have uploaded exclusively for patrons, and I always do. It's so, you know, pledge to my Patreon, keep me alive. There's your fucking plug. Rime was one of those. It was one of those Patreon exclusive Let's Plays, and I did it with Digi, and we went through a little bit of the game, and we had some laughs, had some goofs, had some gaffes. We made some jokes and fucking we're good folks or something. I don't fucking know. Rime is a fucking game. It's like very clearly trying to be Journey. It's one of those where like after Journey came out, there were like 100 other Journeys that came out. You play as like a boy on this beautiful island and you're just running around solving puzzles. It's cool. It's good. It's okay. It's kind of derivative. I mean, it's basically like Journey plus Zelda. But, you know, just because something isn't totally fucking original doesn't mean it's bad. It was a fucking good game, so fucking play Rime. I don't give a fuck. If you got the time, play some Rime. And that's a rhyme about playing Rime. So there you go. That should have been the ad campaign. I don't know what the game sold, but it probably would have sold more if they had adopted that as an ad campaign. If they had put that in all the ads, they had put that in the box. The box should have just been a blank box with just the words, if you've got the time, play some Rime. That would have been dope, and millions, thousands and millions of people would have fucking bought it, and it would have been a billion seller. Rise of the Kasai. Did I talk about Mark of Kree in one of these? Mark of Kree was a PS2 game that was really cool. Its whole thing was that it was like a brutally violent barbarian game where you like cut people's limbs off and stuff. But the graphics were meant to be like a you know, like a fat-bodied Maui Disney kind of thing before Maui Disney was a thing. You know, it looked like a kid's cartoon, but it was brutally violent and horrifying. And it had a really cool combat mechanic where you sent out a beam and like it assigned buttons, all the face buttons to different enemies, so you could fight like 5 enemies at once with the different face buttons. It was a really cool game, and it had a sequel. And I never got too into the sequel. The sequel you can play as a little girl. She grows up and she's a killer girl now. That's cool. I remember playing it. I just don't remember beating it. I beat the first one. And the first one was fucking difficult. It was like brutally hard. And I think they made it a lot easier in the sequel. Like they lowered the difficulty to the point where it wasn't fun anymore. Like I don't know if people complained about the difficulty in the first one, but it felt like they tried to respond to that and like overreached and made it too easy in the second one. So I didn't beat the second one. So I didn't beat the second one, and I'm not sure if it's as good as the first one, but I definitely recommend the first one. And, you know, who knows? Maybe at some point in my life I'll play through the second one. Who fucking gives a shit? Rocket Birds 2 Evolution. What the fuck is this? I have no... This is like a chicken in space. And he's like a commando chicken. I don't like it. I don't understand it, and I don't like it. Rogue Aces. This is just some fucking plain shooty game. Who gives a fuck? I never fucking... Rogue Galaxy. Now, this is a cool one, and this is an interesting one to talk about, because I don't think too many people know about this game. It was kind of a very under-the-radar PS2 game, and it's about fucking space pirates, and I was really into pirates, and I was really into space back in my high school days. Two things that I've always... Well, not even high school, my whole life. Two things I've always been really into. Pirates and space. So, you tell me that there's a pirate space game? And that it's like, it plays like it's like a Final Fantasy RPG, an action RPG, kind of like Kingdom Hearts. I think it kind of plays like Kingdom Hearts, if I remember correctly. I mean, that's like everything I had ever wanted back in those days. And it's a great game. Like, I don't know why I've never heard anyone talk about Rogue Galaxy. I've never seen this game discussed as like a classic or even remembered. But it is absolutely a classic. This is a great fucking game. And if you have a PS4, I highly recommend go on the store, go to the PS2 section, and buy Rogue Galaxy. This game is awesome. You're just a band of space pirates, and you're going around. It's like Kingdom Hearts, but you're space pirates, and without all the stupid stuff about Kingdom Hearts that's gay and that everyone hates. It's just like an action RPG where you go to different planets with this lovable cast of space rogues. And you have a spaceship, and the spaceship is like shaped like a pirate ship, which doesn't even make sense, but that's the art style. It's literal pirate ships going around in outer space. It's fucking cool. This game is fucking cool. It's a classic. It's a 10 out of 10. Get it. If you don't know what Rogue Galaxy is, well, now you know. If you don't know, now you know. Go do that. Get that game and play it. It's fucking cool. It's great. It's a masterpiece. It's a classic. And people ought to know. Why don't people know? Why doesn't anyone talk about Rogue Galaxy? Bunch of savages in this town, that's why. People don't appreciate good shit. I hate them. I don't even like people. And I don't have that much more to say, but I don't want to go to the next game, because I want to keep talking about it. Because I want to really impart that it's good, and that everyone should play it. But I mean, there's not too much more to say. That's it. It's just fucking awesome. It's a great game that no one's ever heard of. Fucking play it. Get it. Buy it. You piece of shit. Or else. Anyways, Rogue Legacy is next. Rogue Legacy is like a roguelike, sort of a Metroidvania kind of game. But it's not really a Metroidvania in the sense that there's a whole lot of, like, puzzles or, like, opening doors and stuff, because every time you die, it's also a roguelike, so every time you die, the map resets. So it's not really about mapping out the castle or whatever. I think there's just, like, 4 bosses that once you beat all 4, it opens a door in the front room of the thing. But the whole gimmick of this game was that when you died, your next character would be the descendant of the character who died, and they would pass on traits to their offspring. So it's like a tale that spans generations. It's kind of its gimmick, and you might play as a character with like a birth defect, and the birth defect would be like status effects or different ways of controlling them. Like some characters, their controls would be backwards. Some characters, they would fucking jump bad or something. I don't know. It's fucking stupid. It's not stupid. I'm explaining it stupid, but it's cool. It's a cool gimmick, and it's a cool game. And I liked it a lot when I first played it, which I think was in fucking 2014, a long fucking time ago now. But I remember having debates with people who didn't like this game, who said that the controls were floaty. Yeah, I guess the controls in this game are very floaty. But I didn't have a problem with it. I liked the game just fine. I thought it was good, so there you go. Rogue Legacy is a good game. So speaketh me. Next up is Roundabout. I have no fucking idea what this is. Then there's Saints Row, Get Out of Hand. Get fucking... Next up is Saints Row, Gat Out of Hell. I think Gat is the main character's name, so that's like a pun. I never played any of the Saints Row games. I remember when Saints Row 2 came out, and where people started paying attention to the series as sort of like a more cartoony Grand Theft Auto clone. But at the time, I didn't want to play a Grand Theft Auto clone. I just wanted to play Grand Theft Auto, you know? But after that, the series got more and more cartoony until it became like its own thing. It became like a wholly different beast than Grand Theft Auto. Sort of really got its own identity in the later games. And I think this is like an expansion to like the fourth one. And I think I did play this once when I downloaded it. I must have downloaded it free from somewhere, so it must have been like a PlayStation sale. And I played it for like 10 minutes, and I don't know, I just wasn't fucking into it. I didn't give a shit, but, you know, Saints Row, it has its fans. It's a series that people like, so there you fucking go. Saturday Morning RPG. I don't remember if I played this or not. If I did, I didn't play it for very long. It's sort of a... I mean, you can tell just from looking at it, just from the title, that it's clearly like a contemporary take on classic JRPGs, which I think is always a neat concept. I just didn't play it. I just didn't get into it. So, I don't fucking know. Saturday Morning, fuck. Whatever the fuck. Shadowin is like a stealth game that I never played. I don't fucking know. Shutshimi is like a weird, like a shmuppy thing, I think. I know I played it, but I didn't leave much of an impression. I must have played it for 5 minutes and not given a shit. Siralim is a game that I bought because it sold me on its premise that you, like, combine monsters, I think, sort of like Monster Rancher 2 or something. I might be wrong. I don't even fucking remember. But then I played it and it was just shit. It was like an 8-bit RPG, and I just didn't have the patience for it, so I didn't give a fuck. Maybe it's good. I don't fucking know. Who gives a fuck? Oh, God. Keep in mind, we are in the not installed section of my games library. So most of these games are games that I either have beaten, but, I mean, like, keep in mind that we are in the not installed section of my games library. So this is not games that I play regularly. This is games... The vast majority of the games here will be titles that I do not give a shit about. Or don't know anything about. I guess later on I'll get to the games that I actually have installed. Or something, I don't know. Siren is a really bad survival horror game for the PS2. I think it's a PS2 game. It's like, it has this weird mechanic where you like can see from different points and see what the enemies are doing. I could not wrap my head around this game. I thought it was boring dog shit. If it has fans, I apologize. If it's a good game and I didn't give it a fair shake, I don't know. But I played it for a little bit, thinking that it would be like, you know, a cool PS2 era survival horror game, and it just fucking pissed me off, and I didn't like it. And it sucked dick, and it sucks ass, and it blows dick, and it fucking sucks. So, there you go. Slain Back from Hell is like this sort of edgy, try-hard, heavy metal aesthetic, bloody side-scroller where you're a beefy guy with a sword and you hack and slash, and there's like a block button and a roll button. I don't fucking know. I'm fucking whatever the fuck. Who gives a shit? Who fucking gives a shit? Slender the Arrival. So this is the second Slender Man game. The first one was just like a free sort of PC, you know, one of those millions of free PC horror games that become fads for a while and then sort of disappear. Slender was good. I liked it. It was okay for what it was. Slender the sequel, I don't know if I got very far into it. I think I got to like the second level. You know, Slender the sequel, Slender the Arrival is when it actually became a game and it started having like different levels and sort of a story. Whether or not it succeeded at having a story is up for debate, I guess. But the first level was cool, where you're in the house and it's, I thought it built on the original admirably. So there you go. And what more can you want? Fuck it. I mean, it's not like the original game was like a mind-blowing masterpiece. It was just kind of a dipshit walking through the scary woods with a flashlight game and don't get caught by the Slender Man. So, you know, I think for what it was, I think the sequel did an admirable job building on it. Next up is Soma, and I just played this one recently. It sucked. It sucked dick. But it also kinda didn't. I mean, like, it was good, I think, but it also was a pile of dog shit. I feel both ways about this game. It's, God, I don't know where to, like, I don't know how I feel about it. It's sort of like it's like if BioShock were a walking simulator, that's what Soma is. So in Soma, you start out as this guy, and you're going in for like a brain thing, like a brain scan, and then, you know, you wake up under the water, under the ocean, under the sea, and it's like it's BioShock. It's just like a messed up underwater science place, and you go around and there's robots, but some of the robots think they're people, and there's a story, and the story is okay. The story is pretty good, and I don't want to spoil it. But it's just ruined by the gameplay. Because the gameplay is just so fucking slow, plodding, walking on the ocean floor. Everything is so slow and fucking dark and shitty and just fucking, you know, just slow walking simulator bullshit. All the puzzles, if you can even call them that, are just slow going to a place and doing a thing and like navigating in these open areas underwater that are sort of open, but you're supposed to go to a specific place, and it's just like this. It's just dark under the water, out in the sea, fucking bullshit. It's just fucking slow, no fucking, just mindless, absolutely mindless. And, you know, there's enemies that that of course you cannot fight, and it's just, you know, here come the monster enemy ghouls, and you've got to hide, and you've got to run from them, and you can't get too close to them, and it's just walking, and slow, and shit, and fucking shitty, and fucking slow, and it sucks ass, and it sucks dick, and the whole fucking game sucks dick. Oh, but you keep playing because the story is, like, moderately intriguing. And if you're genre savvy, you sort of know where it's going right from the beginning. There's nothing too surprising about it, but it's okay. It's an okay story. A lot of people, when they talk about this game, they kind of overpraise it, like the story is this artistic, next-level, fucking science fiction masterpiece that gaming has never seen before. You know, the same way that people overpraise everything even remotely good in a game. The story is okay, and the story is worth seeing and worth playing a game to see, but actually playing it, it's just like a 9-hour fucking nightmare. It's so bad. Like, God, I hate these kind of games. These kind of slow, walking, not doing anything, jacking your own dick, can't fight the enemies, have to hide, have to run away, get lost in the dark, fucking bullshit. I can't stand them. So, that's Soma. Game fucking sucks. It's a piece of shit. Belongs in a fucking garbage can at the bottom of the ocean. And that's all I got to fucking say about that shit. Is that enough for an episode of this? I don't know how much further I should continue for this episode. How much more do I got here? Fucking, oh my goodness. There's so much. There's so many. Oh my god. Oh my, okay, what's in the immediate future here? Fuck it, I don't know that, fucking, okay, might have something to say about that one, fucking, you know, whatever, we'll just end it there. We'll just end this one on Soma. Fuck Soma. Soma fucking sucks. It's a piece of shit. It's a pile of fucking dog shit. It, blows ass, and I hate it, and it sucks ass, and it fucking sucks. So, there you go. Just talking games. I'm just talking games. Hey, don't get mad at me. I'm just talking games.
I'm just doing my job.